Hello, and welcome. This is going to be a quick work in progress video, or maybe not so quick, we'll see, of this kit right here. Well, this is the instruction manual for the kit, actually. The Perfect Grade Strike Gundam. And I just realized a second ago when I picked this up that this says version 1.0 here. And it says 2004 at the bottom, but there's never been a 2.0. Now I feel cheated. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I've completed so far, which is the torso, and then I'm going to put together the head on camera. Hopefully that won't go horribly wrong. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about how I painted all of this and why, and yeah, hopefully it'll be fun. First of all, here is the upper torso. As you can see, this is mostly matte painted, except for the inner frame. What I did was I painted all of the armor first, left the inner frame completely unpainted, then took it off for matte coating, and what I'm actually doing right now is I'm in the process of painting up all of the inner armor, the inner frame, I mean. The outer armor is actually all done for all of the limbs, but I can't show you that right now because, of course, I still need to paint the inner frame on those. So the blue here is actually just regular Tamiya blue, but over a black primer to give it this dark appearance. The red is my own custom mix. I think it's exactly 50-50 red and red-brown. And the white this is either just white or it's white with a little bit of light gray in it. I actually can't remember because the strike has white and off-white parts, and I tried to keep that. I think this is the off-white. Anyway, then I did a whole bunch of chipping here and everywhere with gunmetal on the white parts and silver on the darker parts. The inner frame parts are also dry brushed. And as you can see, or actually you can't see because of the reflection here around the neck, I did a whole lot of detail painting as well. There's a bunch of other stuff too. The pistons here are gold. I also did some stuff inside of the shoulder joints here that now you can't see. Inside here where the cockpit is, and actually I painted, let's see if I can show you this, preferably without scratching it up. See here, this hatch. I don't know how well you can see this on camera. Here, I painted all of this stuff. Looks really cool, and I don't know, I was just looking at it and I just couldn't resist because it looked so nice and I wanted to paint it. Problem is, once I've got the Aile Striker pack on here, no one's ever going to see this again. Oh yeah, this, however, this was totally worth it. You can still absolutely see this when it's assembled. So that's the upper torso. Now, here is the so-called waist unit, which is actually the pelvis and not the waist, but you know how that goes. Bunch of detail here, a whole lot of streaking. I also, as you can see here, painted the inside of the skirts. Now you might be thinking, why the hell would you want to do that? You're never going to see that, but I actually disagree. I think if you pose it with the legs in even, and you're looking at it from an angle where you can see, you don't actually see the detail that I did, but you can see that there's something going on there, and it adds to the realistic impression. I'm absolutely convinced of that. Now, for the white and off-white parts here, by the way, you can see the hatch here where the knife goes, that's white, and this is off-white. I did pre-shading with light gray, and then painted all over this. Then I actually did a gunk wash with Abteilung 502 Starship Filth. Top coat, decals, another top coat, you know how that goes. And then for the weathering, the same chipping as on the stuff that I already showed you. Here, the heat streaks from these vents, and here, that's just dry brushed Tamiya, what is it, flat black. And then I also did just a little bit of rust streaking here with dark rust from Vallejo, and Actually, then there's some India ink in there too to give it a little, just a little color variation and a bit of darkness on the inside. Yeah, I think that's it for the waist unit. And when you plug it together, it looks like this. As you can see, like I said, detail here on the front, totally worth it, absolutely still visible, as are the pistons. And yeah, I gotta say, I'm really happy with how this came out. Probably gonna screw it all up now when I get started on the legs, but we'll see. So that's the upper torso finished. Now for the head. Here are all of the armor pieces for the head, which I put into this sorting sorting tray. What the hell are you talking about, Space Hamster? Sorting tray with which to sort things. And there's actually something here I want to show you before I begin the assembly. First of all, I kind of overdid it here, but you can see the reason this looks so grimy on the inside is because I actually gunk washed everything all over. Now for the head it doesn't matter, but a lot of the armor pieces where you might actually see the inside also have this sort of really thick gunk wash on it. I did the same thing on the shield, which I could show you, but I won't. The shield and the gun are actually finished. And it just looks like it's dirty, like it's covered in oil or something, so it worked out pretty well. Now what I wanted to show you before I start assembling is this, that I have a hole in my glove, that is. By the way, the reason I'm wearing these gloves, just in case you're wondering, is because I have festering sores on my hands, which is what you were thinking, right? So here, let's see, can I get this to show up? What I did is, I don't like the LED. You'll see I'm not going to put it in when I put the head together. The LED, these head LEDs are stupid because I don't understand how you can, I mean, how are you going to display the kit with the LED on? The battery's going to run out. The LED event itself eventually dies. I don't understand that at all. Plus the LED in the strike, to be honest, doesn't really work that well. So I decided, since I was going to display it without the LED in, I was going to paint it in a way where it actually looks good without the LED. So what I did is I painted this, you can probably can't see this, I painted a gold on the inside and then clear yellow on the outside, and of course gunmetal for all the stuff around the eyes. And it actually turned out pretty well. I'm real curious to see what this looks like on camera once I look at this video, but it really looks like the shiny yellow eyes that the strike is supposed to have. Here are the inner frame parts for the head, which are all base coated, primed black, and then base coated gunmetal, and then I just dry brushed a bunch of silver and rust over them to give them this sort of nice worn metal appearance. Same thing I did on all the inner frame. And while I'm talking, I'm going to open up the instruction manual, which I just realized I actually kind of need. Same thing I did on all of the inner frame. I didn't do any detail painting on this. There's this really nice detail here that would be fun to paint, but on the other hand, to be honest, it's never going to show. And this build has taken me months and months and months, and I'm not going to paint something on the inner frame just so that I can tell myself it's there. Check it out, I'm looking at the instructions. I'm not going to paint something on the inner frame just so I know that it's there. I don't know, I don't get that. So let's start assembling. The first step, according to the instructions, is to do this, which I've already done. So this now goes in between here, like so. There's also a clear part that goes in here, of course, to help the light, to help diffuse the light. And why don't we drop this while we're at it? To help diffuse the light from the LED, which of course I'm not going to put in now because I'm not using the LED, because I did an awesome paint job on the eyes. The Vulcans, which also have a funny German name that I could actually pronounce correctly, but I won't. The Vulcans are also not separate. I just painted those the same color as everything else. I don't understand at all why those are separate parts. Okay. Now, that's the inner frame with the faceplate. Next thing we're going to do is the Mohawk, which, oh yeah, incidentally, this is painted silver on the inside and clear blue on the outside, and I think it probably looks okay on camera, but I actually had a good bit of trouble with the clear blue here. No idea why, but I just couldn't get it to level properly for some reason. And then I wiped it off with primer. I wiped it off with thinner, and then I did it again, and it didn't work. And then I hand brushed it, and it just, I don't know. I mean, it looks okay, but I'm not 100% happy with it. This one came out nice and flat. I mean, nice and leveled and glossy. But you can tell there's like almost no blue on there, and it's not the same color. So that didn't really work out all that well, but it's okay. So this goes here, clickety click. And then, wait, we're supposed to put these cheek vents on first, which, by the way, have the usual heat streaking. Now, I want to check this out. This is the first time I'm seeing this all put together myself, right? So, see, I think in this condition, especially, you can really see why I'm putting myself through all the trouble of, putting on the armor and then taking it off again for top coating. I mean, the contrast between the shiny parts and the matte parts is just really striking. Haha, striking. So I still think that's worth it. I don't know. I think I'm going to keep doing it. All right, but we're going to cover that up now. Chrome dome, literally. Whoops. Don't mind me, I'm an idiot. This goes here. And finally, the V-fin assembly. Here, if you're going to paint this yourself, this white part that's poking out here is actually, of course, part of, see this, and this is the same part. When I can't remember, I painted this and then I put it together and then I took it apart again and the white part broke. So I had to glue it all together. The problem was, same as with everything else, I couldn't top coat this at the same time because the gold here is semi-gloss and the rest is matte coated. So I had to take it apart and then it snapped. So I don't know, be careful with this, it's fragile. So let's put this on, finish the head. Yep, there we go. First thing I've ever assembled on camera. And it's looking rather spiffy, if I do say so myself. Yeah, I like this. I really like this. Yeah. The camera is sort of half disappearing in there anyway, so that's not a problem. The eyes look nice and shiny. The heat streaking from the Vulcans. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I'm really happy with this, guys. Sorry to toot my own horn here, but this is awesome. All right, let's get this puppy installed and see what the whole thing looks like. And here we go. Sorry, I did that off camera. I don't know why. I just put the whole head together on camera and then I decided to go off camera for this. Anyway, that's the torso and the head all done. Looking, I don't know. Like I said, I'm really, really, really happy with how this came out. Just turning it around for you here a little so that you can check it out. One thing I forgot to mention is you can't probably see it at all on camera, but through these little slits here on the chest vents, you can actually see these triangular clear pieces that are just plain clear on the kit. And I decided to paint them silver because I was sort of hoping at a silver line here, but you really can't see that at all. Forgot to mention that, and I don't know why I think it's worth talking about, but here I am talking about it. Now, by the way, in case you're wondering, my earphone keeps falling out. I think I put it in the wrong way. yeah, I think the, the detail that's still showing through, like the little gold screws that I did here behind the neck and what I did around the collar, all of that is showing through exactly the way I wanted it. And you don't really see it unless you go looking for it, but you can tell that there's something going on here. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on keeping on with this guy. I think what I'm doing here is working for me. I'm very happy with how it's coming out. As I'm recording this, I've actually got all the parts for the inner frame for the legs, for one leg, ready for priming. So that's gonna happen tonight, and then we'll see. Maybe I'll make another video. Maybe I'll just post this in basically everywhere on the Gunpla internet when it's done. Speaking of which, little plug for my blog here. There's going to be a link in the description to my blog called RoboShop, where I have a much more extensive review of this here, also a build review of back when I just snap fitted it, plus a ton of other stuff about my Gundams and my Zoids. Very important, Zoids. I actually prefer Zoids to Gundam, Gunpla, Gundam, whatever you want to call them. And now I'm rambling, so I'm gonna check out here. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave me a thumbs up. Don't bother subscribing because I have no idea if I'm going to make more of these, but who knows, maybe when this guy's done. Bye.